Hey everyone, Nate here. I just got back from Santa of the Sea yesterday. Had a terrific race. Did 1:30:27. PR'd by 2 minutes and some change. My goal was to go sub 1:30. I didn't do that. Part of that I think was when I got to the race. I started to walk to the starting line, and I'm like, oh, I gotta pee. So then I went back and peed, and then I went back and made it just to the front just in time to meet. I got to meet Albert, said hey, and then we had the national anthem, and then it was pretty much like, okay, ready, set, go. And I didn't have time to set my projection on my setting that I like. It's the race predictor on the Garmin app or Garmin watch. So I sort of lacked a little bit, I think, there. I was with the 1:30 group, and then maybe a mile in, I sort of broke away, and I was with another group, and I ran with them for probably to like the 5 mile mark or so, and I either lost them. I know I actually gained people because I was 23rd overall at the halfway mark, and I ended up at 20. So I think the group that I was with is those three, a few of those people that fell off came in after. Maybe they went a little bit too fast. So we got a coot visitor. He's coming over here. So what else? So Deanna and I went. We drove down Friday night. We're just getting here in Oxnard. We're staying at the Homewood Suites here. We like the Homewood Suites because it has like a full kitchen, and it's basically like a little mini apartment. But looking forward. It's raining right now. It's supposed to rain this whole weekend, so only supposed to get like 0.1, maybe like 0.2 inches of rain during the race. So we'll see. So I got to decide which shoes I'm gonna wear. Oh, we got a dot there. All right, they're still there, isn't it? All right. Anyways, so how does this work? So we're gonna try to keep you guys updated. Put a little thing together when I get back to Santa Clarita. But anyways, so we'll keep you guys posted. All right, have a good one. Checked into the hotel, had a great time we always have a great time in Oxnard. Oxnard is one of our favorite places. It's really underrated as a community. How can you have that nice of a beach town and it's not overbuilt? There's not like a ton of commercial stuff or too many houses that really cut into the view. You can have pretty easy access to the beach, and we enjoyed ourselves. We checked out. We went to what restaurant was it? There was a restaurant right there by the Expo, and we got some shrimp, Diablo shrimp. One of them was a Diablo shrimp, and a charcuterie plate. And then we got went over to this I forget the name of it, this other place that I actually think I have some video on, because I basically recorded a lot of different B-roll and stuff like that from this weekend, and so I'm going to include that in this video. Hopefully it turns out well. I don't know, it's sort of experiment right now, but yeah, we went there, and that was a nice place. We would have liked to sit outside, but the rain being what it was, I didn't get rained on very much in the race. I got a little bit of a sprinkle. I heard Deanna said, after she dropped me off, she went to the finish line, and she said it was basically a torrential downpour when she got there. So she said she got out of the car, and then it started raining, and she's like, nope. She went back in the car and waited. And so I think the 5K people might have got a little rain. I don't know. So by the time I was coming in to the final miles of Santa of the Sea, like, it was sunny. So look at this guy. Hello, Mr. Coot. Those guys are such jerks to each other. It's so annoying. Yeah. So about the race, it probably was a light year, but it's a fast course because it's flat. The only hill is around mile 6. It's when you're on 3rd and you go over, I think, Oxnard Avenue or something like that. It's one bridge. Pretty much run through like industrial part, then you go through neighborhoods, and then as you make your way towards the more resort part, where Embassy Suites, and you go through that park. I forget what the park is called, but we have actually some good memories with the kid there at that park when he was little. It was a little slick around the back where the Embassy Suite part is, and I kind of had to make my way over to the sidewalk. That was probably my slowest mile because I felt like I might like slip and twist my ankle or something. So I was cautious there. But I mean, overall, I think one of the great things about being a part of this, it's such an honor to be an ambassador for this race. They are very community oriented. It's a bigger race than it appears, but they still keep it very community focused. So you had a lot like in the Expo, and after you had a lot of these dance teams talking. They're not talking, dancing and doing their various routines, so that was cool. But like there isn't a ton of crowd, like big crowds that come out, but there was definitely like no shortage of volunteers. The police that it handled it were great. I always get nervous. So ever since San Francisco, I get a little nervous when they're doing the like through traffic thing, because in San Francisco, literally the guy in front of me, there was this Prius that I don't know if the police waved on or whatever, but he like went really slow and almost hit the guy. And then like literally this runner in front of me stopped and like could see into the dude's window and was like, "Hey!" So I always get a little nervous, but there was no close calls or anything that I saw, on mine during while I was running. So we had we had a great time. So I'm really, really privileged to be an ambassador of this race. These are the same. This is the same team that runs Mountains to Beach, which I am hoping to run in May. I believe it's usually Memorial Day weekend. Right now I have scheduled Houston in January, and then Napa Valley, and then hopefully Mountains to Beach. I don't know. I might throw something in there. I have some half marathons and stuff that I'll probably run in there. I might put something in there between Napa and Mountains to Beach. I don't know yet. We'll see. So, what else? So I probably took too much AltRed. I took one 2 hours before, one 1 hour before, and one right before the race. Then I took two during I think around mile 6, and then at mile 10. So that was let's just say I had a colorful restroom experience afterwards. As it's made from betylene, which is basically the dye that's in beets. And so if you know anything about eating a lot of beets, it does that if you take too much. But I figured like it's better to have too much than not enough. So did that. I'm also back as an ambassador for those guys. That is a great thing, and I don't really understand why. I think more runners really need to pay attention to things like things that can just shave down. I was actually watching the Breaking 2 documentary, which you can, if you have Disney Plus, it's on the Nat Geo. It talks all about the Breaking 2 Nike project, as far as all the shoes that everyone's wearing, and the very beginning of it, where they were selecting, and they had a guy who I think he ran almost 1 hour. He ran like a 1 hour marathon. So they were naturally trying to, I forget his name. I'll put it on the thing here. But he his name escapes me right now, but he would run a half marathon basically at an hour. So like they figured like, okay, well, we just need him to double this. And he would actually do things like not drink anything, and so they were actually talking about in order for them to shave things, they had to optimize every aspect of the running, whether it be the shoes, had to have the most efficient shoes, the lightest shoe possible, the shoe with the most energy transfer, the most efficient energy transfer, the proper fluids, the proper energy, the proper every aspect of running to improve the running economics. They were just they were trying to shave seconds off by a little bit more efficient shoe, or a little bit better fuel, just whatever they can do to just shave seconds is how. And I think that's, if you're trying to, like, in my case, trying to qualify for Boston or PR or whatever, you got to look at what is going to shave seconds off my time. And for me, AltRed was one of those things that I implemented this year, and it's really worked wonders for me. It improves blood flow, helps your VDOT max. Basically, in short, for running, it helped it's been clinically tested, and I believe peer reviewed as well. So, but I think it was UC Davis. I could be wrong about that, but essentially you had people who took AltRed and improved their 5K time by like 4%. Now that's a lot. 4%, it was 3 or 4%. But you look at the Nike shoes that everyone's obsessed with, and what are they called? They're called the 4%. So they're literally saying that like 4% on a marathon is huge. That's like anywhere that could be like 5-6 minutes. So anyways, AltRed helps improve blood flow. It's very easy to take while running. On top of that, it also aids in recovery. So it helps get rid of I forget what they call it, muscle markers, I think they call it. But basically it's like damage to your muscles, and so it aids in recovery as well. So AltRed is definitely something that I think runners should pay more attention to. I think what I've noticed about runners is we sort of just like to run, and many runners, and I won't say most, I'll say many runners, aren't taking recovery seriously, or aren't taking things like cross training or strength training seriously. And those are, if you want to improve, those are the things that are going to help you shave those seconds, minutes off your times. If you just go out and just run the same program every day, you go out and run like 5 miles a day, 6 miles. I mean, I've had people ask me like, how do I get faster? And I'll ask them what they do for their program, and it's like, oh, I run 5 to 6 miles every day. Well, that's fine, but you should be, if you want to get faster, you have to run faster. You have to push at, doing speed runs, doing things that are going to improve your and raise your VDOT max. You're basically, if you're running 5 to 6 miles, you're getting expert at running 5 to 6 miles at the exact same pace range. So, if you want to do 5-6 every day, that's fine, but put in a mile in there where you are pushing super hard, or put in like every other mile you're gonna run at a pace, a minute faster than you normally would. But that's why I recommend having a coach, having a plan, because it also does depend on what you want to do. If you're just having fun, you just like to go to races, then get down with your bad self. If you want to improve, you're going to need to do some more. You're going to invest in you, essentially. And so enough of the lectures. Sorry. So I had a great time. At Santa to the Sea. I look forward to doing it again, hopefully. And I hope this was helpful. Run positive. All right, guys, have a good one.
20 yards to metal. 1, 2, 3. Yard, 20 yards. Nathan Emma, how you doing, Nathan? Good to see a smile for that camera.